Fitting with 2020's dystopian nightmare theme, this Friday will see WWE start their next total lockdown era, Thunderdome. This week's SmackDown and all subsequent shows will move out of the Performance Center to be broadcast live from Florida's Amway Center, complete with more pyro, more external windows for Metribution to throw cinder blocks through, and, crucially, virtual fans. According to two backstage sources of WrestlingNews.co, Vince McMahon is said to be feeling pretty good about the move. It's such good S-word, which is a welcome change from his much reported on volatile mood over the last few months, amidst heavily falling ratings on Raw and SmackDown. Vince feels like the worst is over, and he feels that the company can get back to where things were before the virus came along. He has been in a great mood ever since they locked in the contract with Amway. Apparently Vince has been more upbeat in creative meetings recently too, as he believes the change in scenery will start to regain the fans they've lost since March. Because viewers will see how cool the shows look, they will be back. That's certainly why I watch wrestling, for the size of the LED screens. And according to the report, WWE might have several huge returns to initially hook those lapsed fans back in. WrestlingNews.co add, there is now speculation amongst some people in the company that now they are running shows at the Amway Center that this will open the door for names like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns to return. Lesnar hasn't been seen on WWE TV since he lost his title to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, but with the benefit of a private jet, it's more than possible that he'd fly down for future tapings if he was paid enough, especially with the company still having Paul Heyman signed to a performer's contract after he was removed as Raw's executive director in June. Reigns is a trickier situation. Lesnar occasionally disappearing for months wasn't uncommon even in a pre-COVID time. Roman, however, is a full-timer, which made his decision to pull out of all tapings back in March, despite being in one of the biggest matches of his career for the Blue Universal title against Goldberg at WrestleMania, far more shocking. It's been reported this is because of his compromised immune system due to his bout with leukemia last year, but Reigns himself has said it's because he wants to protect his family from the disease, with his wife giving birth to a second set of twins earlier this year. Do you think we'll see Lesnar or Reigns return in the Thunderdome era? Let me know in the comments, because Tina Turner will be replying to you from out of nowhere saying, "We don't need another hero." Before we get on with the rest of the news, I just want to say a huge thank you to this episode's sponsor. Shave the balls down! Manscaped. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene, and it's more important than ever to maintain standards down there during the new normal, because the latest science says ball BO can travel through video calls.
So as you can see here, she took on Christy Hemme, WrestleMania 21, they got -2 stars, and then the following year, can anyone else smell that?
The best way to stop this is to sign up to Manscaped's Peak Hygiene Plan, which sends you quarterly replenishments of your favorite products and replacement blades for your lawnmower trimmer, delivered directly to your door hassle-free. And each delivery comes with a free gift. Use our special code WTTV when you sign up too, because you'll get 20% off and free international shipping. Please click the link in the video description below and at least check Manscaped out, as it really helps support us here at WrestleTalk and my big hairy balls. Your balls will thank you. Back to big returns for Thunderdome. If you listen closely enough, you might just hear the sound of Goldberg gently headbutting a locker room door. At least according to Jim Cornette, who has claimed on his podcast, Goldberg was huge on Tony Khan's wants list. He wanted Goldberg to come out and do the streak over again, essentially redoing his winning streak storyline from WCW over 2 decades later in AEW. You might remember that in the original SE Scoops article that broke the news about Khan planning to start a wrestling promotion 4 months before it was officially announced, Goldberg was amongst the names listed as potential roster members, along with Jim Ross and Chris Jericho, who shared the same wrestling agent Barry Bloom. Every other name in that article has since joined AEW. Co-executive vice president, I love him like a brother, Cody Rhodes, has since debunked Cornette's claims though, tweeting, "This isn't real, we had no contact." Ha! Besides, Goldberg himself has revealed in an interview with the Pop Culture Show podcast that he's still under contract with WWE for the next 2 years. And just like WrestleTalk.com's Louis Dangoor exclusively reported back in April, Goldberg also confirmed that we won't see him in WWE for the rest of the year. I've got 2 matches per year. I've exhausted my limit this year quite early on April the 5th with WrestleMania under these really weird circumstances. On Saturday night, a man by the name of Philip A. Thomas broke into the house of Daria Berenato, Sonya Deville in WWE, holding a knife, zip ties and mace with the intention of kidnapping her. Thankfully, an alarm alerted Sonya of the break-in, and her and a guest who was staying over fled the house and called the police. Thomas was arrested on the scene. Now, in Sonya's court petition for a restraining order against Thomas, her account of that night has come out via the Tampa Bay Times. Sonya says she went to bed at 1:15 a.m. but was awoken at 2:41 by the home security alarm. She went to check on the sliding glass door in the family room that had triggered it when she saw Thomas on the patio and yelled, "What are you doing? What do you want?" When he came closer, she saw he was holding pepper spray and a knife. That is when I realized this person was not here to rob me, he was here to hurt me. Sonya rushed to get her friend who was staying over in the house, Amanda Sacamano, who is fellow SmackDown star Mandy Rose. The two escaped in a car and called 911. Sonya said she noticed on her security camera that Thomas seemed to have believed they went upstairs, which could be what allowed them to escape to the garage. Sonya revealed she's since found hundreds of messages from Thomas in her Instagram's request folder. The nature of the messages from this account were obsessive, suicidal, idolizing, saying "you are the only person I will ever love," and contained graphic images and threats against Sonya's family members who had identified by name. Thomas has admitted to authorities that he planned to keep Deville hostage, preventing her from attending a planned event scheduled for the following week, and that he was not going to leave her residence without her answering all of his questions. The planned event there presumably being the SmackDown or SummerSlam tapings. The judge has granted a temporary stalking violence injunction against Thomas, and he remains in jail charged with armed kidnapping and aggravated stalking. The next stage of legal proceedings takes place today, where the court will decide whether to release him on bail, which the prosecution are trying to prevent. Thanks for your support on Patreon. Mansoor is my favourite wrestler ever. It's time for WrestleTalk's rambunctious roundup of news, formerly the Wrestling Newsatorium, formerly the Wrestling News Zip, formerly the Shooting Gallery. Better names welcome. Raw's ratings remain pretty much flat, with this week's episode drawing an average of 1.64 million viewers. Although this was up in a few key demos, this was the go-home show for SummerSlam and had an advertised appearance from Shawn Michaels. But don't worry, I'm sure Thunderdome will fix it. We don't need another hero. But WWE do need another title. Twitter user @BeltFanDan, who has previously leaked the designs for the new United States title months before it debuted on TV, has revealed a Raw Underground Championship has been pitched, which would be beat up like the hardcore belt with spray paint and simulated brick texturing. Someone who won't be winning any championships this week though, for selling moves, is Shawn Michaels. Segway. Despite borderline killing Edge, Christian and Ric Flair this year, Randy Orton's RKO and Punk combination to HBK on Monday's episode of Raw just had Michaels looking like he bumped his head. Kids these days just don't know how to work. Bully Ray agreed, tweeting, "An RKO and a punt to the head from Randy Orton and Shawn is on his feet? Question mark, 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 question mark." Bully Ray, an emoji tells 1,000 punctuations. And Velvet Sky added, "Basically no selling both moves. Way to bury Randy. Then Drew takes RKO alone and stays down selling like you're supposed to. Complete disrespect to Orton by Shawn. Shrug emoji." Mickie James also returned to WWE on this week's Raw, one of the most high-profile female wrestlers the company has ever had, just booked to wrestle a match against Natalya while the camera focused on Seth Rollins arguing with Samoa Joe. It's actually WWE's latest division, Raw Background. Mickie has said she felt a little bit disappointed by her underwhelming return in an interview with Denise Salcedo on Instinct Culture. Check out the full interview by clicking the link in the video description below, as Denise is awesome, is the new permanent co-host of our Friday podcast show, and I'm sure is in no way trying to infiltrate WrestleTalk on behalf of Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful, who's an enormous buttface. Speaking of talking smack, both PW Insider and Pro Wrestling Sheet are reporting WWE is considering bringing back the SmackDown post-show Talking Smack to the WWE Network, possibly as soon as this month. And last night's Impact saw night one of their Emergence special, which saw EC3 steal Moose's TNA Championship, the former Kurt Hawkins, Brian Myers shoot hard on Vince McMahon, saying, "It disgusts me that major decisions in this business are made by some out-of-touch 70-year-old man in some goofy production meeting, and the X Division Championship being won by Rohit Raju." Hey, you watching at home, did you know that about 30% of you watching right now aren't subscribed to WrestleTalk? Well, you should be. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news and review videos, because we need your support now more than ever, as the very fate of WrestleTalk monetization is on the line at this Sunday's SummerSlam live reactions. Will you all vote for the official tagline to be Jam That Jam, or Sean Ross Sapp's F That F? I'm gonna blame Luke if we lose. Watch mine, Luke, Laurie and Adam's SummerSlam predictions by clicking the video on the right, and press the video below that too to check out Louis Dangore's interview with Drake Maverick, where he talks about his WWE release and rehiring. Subscribe here for daily wrestling news videos, especially you 30%. I've been Ollie Davis. Jam that jam.